Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Dr. Shahzad Naveed Jadoon. I'm working as Director and CEO of Alltech Pakistan. Today I'm going to tell you about the functional feed additives and the sustainable aquaculture in Pakistan. Before moving forward, I would like to thanks to International Conference of Innovative Aquaculture for giving this opportunity to share the story about aquaculture in Pakistan. Before moving, let me ask you a question. I know most of you would be knowing, but it is very interesting to learn about the global aquaculture production. When we look at these stats, we find that this is the fastest growing food sector, which is producing almost 87.5 million metric ton of aquaculture. And out of that, 80% share come from inland, and total it is worth of $146 billion. It is very interesting because this is now a driving factor why fish is a future protein. Let me share what is happening locally in Pakistan. We have seen 1.5% aquaculture growth in the recent years. And once we look at the numbers, we will find interestingly that the aquaculture share is increasing in Pakistan as well. So, what is aquaculture in Pakistan? So, as we know, there are primarily four wings of aquaculture. First is we are getting what we are getting from the capture fisheries and what we are getting from the aquaculture. Almost 160,000 ton we are getting from aquaculture and 30,000 ton we are getting from the marine fisheries. So when we talk about the feed side, there are 13 feed mill industries in Pakistan which are producing zero point 0.6 million ton of feed annually. And there are 39 public hatcheries and there are 24 private hatcheries, but still we are not clear how much seed we are producing. And when we talk about the number of farms, we are having 20,000 farms in Pakistan. Let me share the Aqua leaderboard because this is again very interesting to learn. Because when we look at our neighboring countries or when we look up around the region, despite of the favorable agroclimate condition, still we are struggling to tap the aquaculture potential. When we look at the India, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Thailand, so we found that they are very good in terms of producing and they are leaders. And how they become leader, this is something another thing that we need to learn and we can grasp in our aquaculture policy and strategy to be a leader in coming years. So there are some barriers to aquaculture development in Pakistan because of the reason we are not able to attain the leadership position as our neighbor countries are. So when we talk about the barriers, the first barrier comes in the high cost of production, inconsistent supply of input, which is seed, feed, and the price volatility. When we are also talking about the feed quality and genetics, because genetics and nutrition goes side by side, underdeveloped infrastructures, lack of technical expertise, awareness, access and incentives for modern technologies. So this is again very important point. Lack of aqua policies, failure to meet export quality standard, low consumption, disease and mortality is these are few barriers which are hindering the growth in the aqua sector in Pakistan. When we look at the aquaculture, it is very much right fit for the SDGs. When we look at the SDGs, almost all 17 SDGs directly, indirectly, are either they are related or they are associated with the aquaculture production because we know it has less impact on the environment, it is a good converter, and it is a sustainable form of the food sector. When we look at the aquaculture role in the SDGs, it is helping to eliminate the hunger and improving the health. It is directly or indirectly working to establish help in the sustainable environment. It is also helping reducing the poverty, achieving the gender equality, and improving the livelihood and reducing the inequalities. And along with that, there are other potential benefits that we can uh, get from the aquaculture in Pakistan. So, what is happening and what is going to be happen? Of course, once we want to be leader in the region, we need to come up with the aqua aqua technology disruptors. So these are well practiced, established data which shows us because of these aqua disruptors like the bioflok, the IPRS, the raw system, the cage culture, the pen culture, shrimp farming, trout, sea bass, cat farming, they all are very much integral part of the development of the growth sector of the aquaculture in Pakistan. So one is the technology part and the other is the genetic part. So when we talk about the associated risk with the high density system, when we follow the disruptors, the challenge would come in the high density system is the stress, the production performance, and disease susceptibility. These are the three major challenges which we face. And beside that, there are some must things that we should do for the aquaculture success. So if we want to go for the high density system, which are more dependent on feed, seed, and additives. So here our story begins that do we know about the feed cost percentage in aquaculture operation? Yes, we all know that 50 to 80% cost come from the feed in the aquaculture production, and the major limitation to its adoption is by the local farmer. Why it is so? Because still the local farmer is working on the conventional method, and still he believes that the modern technology or the feed which is being served is costly. So still we need to work on the awareness, we need to work on the farms in order to create an aqua value creation model to justify the cost that is they're going to invest. So now coming back on the topic, which is the functional feed additives. So when we talk about the functional feed additives, the two things which comes in mind is the cost effective and sustainable solution. And when we look at the benefit that which is going to be featured is giving us in terms of performance and profitability, and of course they are very much beneficial for the planet. So we as an Alltech team working on the planet of plenty, which means that we have to care for all these things. So when we talk about the performance, so these functional feed additives will be helping in lowering the feed conversion ratios, high output biomass production, increased survival rates, improve shrimp conditions are the aqua fish conditions. So it is going to reduce the low production cost, which means that it will optimize the performance and the cost benefit analysis would be on the higher side. When we talk about the benefit to the planet, it would have a minimum nutrient utilization and it has least impact on the environment. So what are the functional feed additives? Is it just a refresher? So when we look at the list of the functional feed additives, they are the phytogenic compounds, mycotoxin binders, organic acid, immune stimulators, yeast products, probiotics, prebiotic, and finally the enzymes. So these all are adding to the performance, profit, and they are good for the environment. So I'm just quickly sharing some of the case studies about the Alltech Aqua functional feed additives. So primarily we have there are other product as well, but I'm focusing on Actigen, Nupro, Allzyme, Microsoft, because as we mentioned, we need to work on the gut health, we need to work on the immunity, we need to work on the antimicrobial resistance. So when we talk about all these things, which means that we have the Actigen, which is boosting the gut health, which is boosting the immunity, which is helping to reduce the use of the antibiotic. And when we talk about the Nupro, again, it's a natural yeast extract which improves the survival rate, immune function, and the gut health, which means that at the end of the day, the biomass production or the yield is going to improve by having these sustainable methodologies which can help us to get the better weight gains. So when we talk about the Alzheimer, we know that this is a multi-enzyme complex which is not only helping to improve the cost saving, helping the optimize the nutrient release, and also helps to drive the feed digestibility and also decreases the nutrient waste to the environment, because once this enzyme technology unlock the nutrients, it is going to be absorbed better to give the better yield. And the toxin binder Microsoft is broad spectrum toxin binder, which helps to optimize the performance in journal. So I can share this data and all the stats if you require it are in the question and answer session. I can give you more brief on that. So why to scale functional feed additives in Pakistan? I think this is something very, very important because we know that the population is increasing in Pakistan, which means that the dependency on the nutritional security and the food security is going to be high, which means that the climate change, food security, sustainability are going to revolve around each other. When we talk about the climate change, we are the fifth most vulnerable country on the global index of the climate risk because we are facing deforestation, increased population, and other challenges which are associated with the climate. And when we look at the food security, 37% population is not getting what it is required. They are food insecure. And when we talk about the malnutrition and stunting growth, we have seen that more than 40% people are they are having the malnutrition and stunted growth. Sustainability, I think this is again one of the pivotal leading role for the climate change and food security because the intense resource use, genetic and lack of the other things are going to be the threat if you don't have the right selection of the genetic, right selection of the raw material resources, it is going to be a threat in the coming time. So what I'm going to conclude at the end of the day, we set a stage. The globally the aquaculture is increasing at a pace of 6.7%. Locally, it is increasing at 1.5%. And we have talked about the barriers. We talk about the disruptors. We talk about why these functional feeds are important. So the only way forward is the collaboration. And when we talk about the collaboration, I focus on the 4C strategies because this is very close to my heart. Why 4Cs? Because first of all, we need to connect. The way today we are connect because the globe has become a one village. So it's a global village. So we can connect through any source. Like we can connect through this mode of presentation. So first of all, we need to connect, and then we need to collaborate. How we can support each other, and how we can create a new solution, and how we can define solutions locally. Because once we have a solution, then we need to communicate. The communication means not only between us, it means goes directly to the vertical system, which is lacking the production optimization. We need to optimize the production. We need to educate the farmer. We need to facilitate them. We help them. And we need to make a nexus between the industry, academia, and the government so that at the end of the day, we can get a better solution. Because we are tagging and we are coming up with this slogan that fish is a future protein, and it is only can be happens within Pakistan or within the globe once we follow the 4C strategy. So with this, I would like to thanks to the all the management of IC International Conference of Innovative Aquaculture for giving this opportunity, and I will be available for any question answer sessions. And let me thank you once again for your patience and time given to me. Thank you very much.